Unc decided to surprise us for his 41st birthday. And you know what? I can't be mad at it.
But then, you know what I'm saying, I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
As Jermaine took some egregious shots on the first track of his mixtape out now, and I'm just glad and I thank the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Give him some praise.
I thank the Lord.
Give him some praise.
You know what I'm saying?
Give him some praise.
Amen. That he didn't put a name on that bullet, because you know he would have had to take it down in under 48 hours.
You guys, see, that's the problem.
Now, with all jokes aside, you're probably wondering, what are you referring to as far as a mixtape for an Unc's birthday? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jermaine, more commonly referred to as J. Cole, has released a project titled Birthday Blizzard. And no, before you go to DSPs, guess what? It's only available on his website, which he's charging a minimum of $1, which I'm going to show it right here because, of course, you know, it's not a hating bone in my body. But at the end of the day, Jermaine believes that podcasters are the reason that everybody is out here getting monetary value from his music.
But then, you know what I'm saying, I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
So as you can see right here, as far as the actual website, this is it right here. Yeah, a minimum of $1, but actually it says pay what you want. So if you want to pay him $1 million, then guess what?
Whoop-de-doo.
Ain't nothing gonna stop you. So with that being said, let me take that back off. But the main thing you need to know is that when it comes to Jermaine and his mixtape, his surprise mixtape, mind you, because you know everybody is waiting for the fall off that's set to come out soon. As far as I believe February 6th, if I'm not mistaken. Does he have a countdown on his DSP? Of course not. So let me see. As far as the fall off definitely comes out February something. Let me see. I know it comes out at some point. Let me see. February. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. The fall off comes out February 6th. Now when it comes to that, I think it's like 10 days from now, I believe. Let me see. Can I count? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Basically 10 days because, you know, we had the 10th part of the mixtape. So the main thing I was wanting to say, especially with this mixtape, is that I believe it's very interesting how P. Diddy put hands, feet, and elbows on Jermaine, slapped earth, wind, and fire out of him. And here he is using his production for two of the 4 tracks off of his surprise birthday mixtape. I mean, just talk about being the pacifist. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jermaine is the ultimate forgiver in the hip hop universe. And if you don't believe me, I mean, just listen to this little clip right here.
Moving incorrectly, and I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way.
He's talking about Kendrick, mind you. Wait, hold on. He's talking about Kendrick, just in case y'all didn't know. I'm trying to play him verbatim.
That my nigga really didn't feel no way, and if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do.
Do what you do. Hold on, now he ain't say pause or nothing.
You guys, see, that's the problem.
That's crazy. That's your favorite rapper, by the way. So as far as Jermaine, ultimately, one of the things I always say across the lifespan of Notorious Mass Effect, that he is the most overrated rapper of all time. And, you know, of course, he's proven that time and time again. As far as being overrated, it means being rated in a spot that I believe is over the actual status that you should be in. So that's why I call him the most overrated, because people have him in the top 3. I don't think he's nowhere near the top 3 because, of course, when it comes to hip-hop, major players from a quality and from an objective metrics point is in the top 3. A plethora of rappers are in the top 3 before J. Cole, whether you want to say Future, whether you want to say Travis Scott, whether you want to say Tyler, the Creator, Nicki. I know a lot of those names could be back and forth as far as in the 3rd spot, but I think Jermaine is nowhere near that spot. So anyways, that's my stance across all my Jermaine coverage. So now when you come to the point where he says on the first track, I used to be top seed, and this is on Bronx. This is the first track, first track off of the surprise birthday mixtape. It's called the Bronx Zoo Freestyle. So as far as that, Jermaine says, I used to be the top seed. Apology dropped me way out of the top 3. Hold on, let me put this up just so y'all can see. You know what I mean? Analytic Dreams video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio. You know, you never want to, there's no cap in my rap. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, this man said, I used to be the top seed. Apology dropped me way out of the top 3. No problem, comma. I'm probably the best. I'm probably my best when they doubt me. And then he ends it off with watch me, and to get into the second track. So basically, I just want to say to all the Jermaine fans out there, even your favorite rapper, which is something I could never agree with. If Drake came out and was like, you know what? Hey man, Size 7 got me with that pedophile dish. You know what I'm saying? He's number one right now. You know what I'll say?
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip hop. Like, what's going on?
I think if Jermaine really wanted to counteract this whole apology dropping him out of the top 3, he should have came out similar to a Gunna and just put out fire music and not talk about the apology, because every time he talks about it, he always comes back with bars like, hey, I know I apologize, but I can still bar your favorite rapper up. Like, hold up now. Player, don't you know you was in the game and you dropped out in under 48 hours, which is one of the most egregious moves I've ever seen on my measly 25 years on earth.
You guys. See, that's the problem.
And everybody looking at Jermaine saying to themselves,
I know that ain't who I think it is.
and for y'all who keep saying, man, why don't you just let the Kendrick apology go? He's still one of the top tier lyricists. Two things could be true. He could be one of the top tier lyricists in hip hop and still have one of the most egregious moments in hip hop history. Because, of course, just because Jermaine can rap does not mean that we're going to put to the side the fact that he keeps talking about how he has the best bars imaginable. And when it's time to prove you have the best bars against the best rappers, he drops out of the race. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, so getting back into the objective information about this actual project, it's 4 new freestyles, but there is like one full track with all the freestyles. And of course, because, you know, consumers are greasy out here, just straight up slime ball activity, almost, let me chill. But let's just say they almost hit you with a back door as far as Jermaine, by the way. The way that they took your music and put it on YouTube. And you already know who I was about to say as far as that back door. I'm going to leave it right there. So anyways, as far as the back door effect that the consumers had on Jermaine, what I mean by that is that the entire mixtape is already out on YouTube, is already out on SoundCloud, which I believe that Jermaine wanted to put this out for free. But then I have to take that back when I see that the main way that he put, you can get the main tool that he put to where you can get his mixtape from is a site asking for at least $1, meaning that I don't think he wanted this out for free, but I don't think he's mad at it. I just think that the consumers is on some slime ball activity.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Jermaine out there thinking his consumers about to pay $1 for his surprise birthday mixtape, and they basically said,
Whoop-de-doo.
Jermaine like, hold up guys, it's only $1. Guess what the consumer said?
Whoop-de-doo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, you name it. So anyways, with that being said, I think other things as far as the tracks not using the already more popular beats. Like I said, the guy who put hands, feet, and elbows and slap Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Jermaine, all of that man, Diddy, production all throughout this mixtape. So Bronx Zoo freestyle, as far as Over Victory, that's the main track that it's gaining inspiration and especially the beat from, was produced by Diddy, right? And then you have Winter Storm freestyle that was also produced by Diddy. That's using the Can I Live by The Lox. And of course, Victory, like I said, from the first track off of the mixtape, is by Diddy, Busta Rhymes, and the Notorious B.I.G. So of course, with that being said, you already know when it comes to the other 2 tracks, the Golden Goose freestyle is produced by Derek D. Angeletti. I think that's how you say it. And that's taking inspiration from the Money, Power, and Respect by The Lox. And of course, last but definitely not least, because I believe this is the best track off of the surprise mixtape, it's the 99 Build freestyle. And interestingly enough, that actual track is an original beat by T-Minus and AZ's The Shake. Hopefully I'm saying it right. It's not a classic sample reused or anything, and it's the best track off of the surprise mixtape. But that's just my opinion, right? So with that being said, having 4 tracks for a surprise birthday mixtape, I think for his fans, they're going to support it like it's going out of style. But then you realize it's not on DSP, so we'll never be able to see the objective analytics as far as comparing it to the to the superstars in the hip hop field. Because when it comes to Mass Effect, safe to say, if we look at superstars in hip hop, trying to see who's the biggest, that's when the objective metrics come into play. Because for me, as a huge Drake fan, you know, I have to reiterate time and time again, because, you know, people would just choose to forget how just because you sell a lot does not mean you make the best product. And just because you don't sell a lot, it does not mean you make the absolute most abysmal product known to man. The two don't correlate. Sometimes you can make the best music ever and not get any support, which happened with JID, which happened with Vince Staples, which happened to, you know, I could keep going on and on again. And Vince Staples, I'm talking about his TV show, not the actual music. But because if you don't know, his TV show by Netflix just got discontinued. So yeah, sometimes you put out high quality product and people don't engage with it, which is why I always say we use objective metrics such as like first week sales and tour numbers to compare the superstars against one another, because it's already analytics and engagement to say, okay, these guys are streamed more than 99% of artists. But we want to know, compared to those individuals, who's the Don Dada, who's the cream of the crop. And of course, Drake comes out every time.
Is it okay I got my dope on me?
Drake comes out on top every time. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
You guys.
So anyways, that's why we gauge first week sales and things of that nature for people who are just completely confused on why we do that. So as far as getting into the rest of the mixtape, we're definitely going to break this down like a kilo of Miley Cyrus, but I definitely wanted to give an overview of the actual mixtape because, of course, his fans are more excited than ever. And when you look at Jermaine, I did not know this man was 41. Now, of course, I'm not age shaming because, you know, the overall objective is to get old in this game, right? In this game of life. But when it comes to him being 41 and teasing this as the last album that he's going to put out, and as far as It's a Boy, I don't know when this was that just scrapped? Like, is It's a Boy never going to come out? I believe that was supposed to come out before the fall off, or maybe after. I don't know. Anyways, as far as the rollout, he is acting like this is going to be his last project. So he's, I think, expected to go out on top as far as trying to put the most high quality bars you can imagine on a project. And starting off with a mixtape like this, I think basically raises the anticipation for his album. Personally, I can't go for the I'm the best, I got the best bars type of malarkey going on in his universe, because he got straight up tested and he ran away in under 48 hours. So as far as that, I like the first track he put out, which he was rapping in reverse. I forget what that track was called. But basically, I think Jermaine should rap from that perspective because he's ultimately a pacifist in the game. Like I keep saying, I'm going to keep reiterating. The man that slapped Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Jermaine has multiple produced tracks off of this mixtape. So when it comes to that, safe to say Jermaine is the ultimate pacifist in the hip-hop game. So if he's rapping about positive life, milestones, accomplishments, that's all fine and dandy. When he starts saying, I'm the best, people can't mess with me, your favorite rapper can't rap with me, I'm like, hold up now. You can't talk like that anymore.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
So that's simply it. So with that being said, we are going to switch gears and get into the first track of the Birthday Blizzard 2026 by Jermaine. And we're going to start with the Bronx Zoo freestyle right now.
Me feel that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is, in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone?
I just don't like it, man.
Not saying no one.
You a long list
like
of
that
the
shit,
rappers that had to go get a job.
Go take care of your kids, man.
But if I got something that still
Go
works,
get a
why do I
job.
gotta-
Go get a job.
Yeah, well,
Go to Costco's, nigga.
I don't have to go to Costco.
Go somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where Jermaine needs to go, but talking like this on his latest project is not it.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
Because not only, ladies and gentlemen, not only did he pick a fight with one of the greatest rappers of all time as far as size 7, Kendrick Lamar, but also when you come to the continuation of him taking it down in under 48 hours, he probably thought to himself, who else can I go at and have some type of bravado in the hip-hop game? You know what? I just thought about it. Let me go at the content creators who cover the industry.
You guys. See, that's the problem.
As when it comes to Cam and Mace, I believe that Mace is going to have the biggest bucket of popcorn because I believe these lyrics are going directly at him, as we are currently breaking down the first track off of the just released, surprise release, Birthday Blizzard that Jermaine did for his 41st birthday. That man getting up there. But anyways, you know, the ultimate goal is to live longer. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that, Jermaine said, and I quote, "Grown men peddling gossip of all things. I remember when it was rapping and ball playing. Now the bread and butter is yapping and parlaying." Hold up, now that's bars right there. That's bars right there. You know what I mean? Cam and Mace, you got 48 hours, man. You got under 48 hours to respond, especially Cam. You know what he trying to say right here? Because of course, after he says, "Oh man, your name's a big conversation. Max deals for Luka Doncic lobbing to Aiden. Hold up now.
You guys.
I was thinking to myself, you know what? Who in the world could he be referring to? And then he got the Biggie play in the background, talking about rapping, ball playing, going into yapping and parlaying. I was like, who in the world could this man be talking about? And I thought about it, I was like, Mace and Cam, they do have a show talking about sports. You know what? As far as the sports podcast, I forget what it's called. Mace, let me see, what's his name? Mace and then Cam, right? Mace, Cam. It is what it is. So they have this specific show right here, ladies and gentlemen. Its title is what it is. As you can see, let me see, platinum selling, whatever, recording artist, Mace and Cam. They talk about sports, right? It's right here, sports commentary. All right, so hopefully I can see that Analytic Dreams video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio. Yeah, so when I look at Jermaine saying Max deals for Luka Doncic lobbing to Aiden, I'm thinking to myself, he's talking about them. Now, let's continue. So then he went from that and says, nowadays you can make a grip commentator. I'm so glad somebody said it. I mean, you know, somebody said it, right? It might as well have been Jermaine, you know, the ultimate pacifist in the game. So he's acknowledging that we out here making that fettuccine, that Skrilla, that straight up. Shepherd. All right, my fault. Let's get back into it. Nowadays you can make a grip commentating if you master 2 skills.
I know that ain't who I think it is. I know that ain't who I think it is.
Is that the Jermaine Cole accusing us of D-riding and hating?
Do that, but I gotta keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right?
Because that boy had a relapse, D-Rod and Kendrick. That stuff crazy.
Y'all heard some shit that happened 2-3 weeks ago, however long it was.
No, we heard it. What happened?
Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the
Oh, that bazooka. Game, right? Oh, that bazooka, huh? Oh, not the bazooka. Jermaine. Kendrick got that? Shepherd. All right, my fault. You know what I mean? But, you know, he said that bazooka. Huh? What are he talking about? Hold up now. He talking about another man? Another grown man? And he got that bazooka? Shepherd. My fault. Let me get back to... Yeah, you know, Jermaine's a pacifist. So, you know, all these comments that he's making in these rap tracks is very easily counterable. Because, of course, this man backed out of a beef in under 48 hours because he said another grown man who was also a rapper, mind you, had a bazooka on him.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
And ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to that, you know, he said a lot of other things. And, you know, I don't know if he believes that as far as commentating is one of the easier things to do. But safe to say, the way I'm breaking it down like a kilo of Miley Cyrus, you're not going to see this in too many other places. Because, of course, let's jump all the way down to the bottom, right? Because this man said, I used to be the top seed. Apology dropped me way out of the top 3. Way out of the top 3. No problem. I'm probably my best when they doubt me. This your favorite rapper, by the way.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
All right, let's keep going. This bar right here immediately stuck out to me because yeah, I'm gonna connect the puzzle pieces in a second. Jermaine said, "Y'all toddlers to me. Stop bothering me." Young Simba. Some people threw some hate my way. Mind you, this is a PG podcast. Young Simba. Some people threw some hate my way, but only thing they should say is, Cole, you like a father to me. Man, that's straight fire. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cole for rapping from Kendrick's perspective. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of when Kendrick had this particular track. It was called, let me see right here, Analytic Dreams video on Spotify to see the video along with audio. So basically, the Heart Part 5, when Kendrick was rapping in like a bunch of different faces, like he was like Kobe, and then he was Will Smith or whatever, and then he was like Nipsey. I forget all the faces he did. But basically, he was rapping from different perspectives, right? So I was thinking to myself, you know what? Jermaine's probably rapping from a different perspective on this particular track. He said, y'all toddlers to me, stop bothering me. I wonder who he could be talking to. You know, Jermaine was bothering Kendrick. And then he also said, young Simba. Okay. Some people threw some hate my way. Some people? Okay, that's multiple, right? Drake and Kendrick did throw hate his way. Okay. But only thing they should say is, Cole, you like a father to me. Now, that's when I was like, oh, he's specifically talking from Kendrick's perspective because Kendrick and Drake been sonning J. Cole. I mean,
I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
I don't think there's a rapper in hip-hop history that's ever been comfortable with taking the third slot, because I always say he's the most overrated. And he knew that too, as he was gladly taking the third place. He was gladly being thrown to bronze because them people like superstars in him. And that's a quotable line from Jermaine, by the way. So anyways, that's all I have to say about this track. I think this track wasn't the greatest. I think when he first started off, I was like, hold up now. I was wondering who he was talking about. You know, as far as Notorious B.I.G., we don't give any slander over here to that specific rapper. When it comes to the person who produced it, safe to say he slapped Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Jermaine. If you don't believe it, just look up Diddy slap J. Cole, and he produced 2 tracks off of this 4-track mixtape. So that being said, with the professional analysis out of the way, let's get into the second track, which is Golden Goose Freestyle.
Like these dudes, and I really genuinely fuck with these dudes. So like, I've been trying to, absolutely make an effort, like, as time goes on.
This is Jermaine speaking, by the way.
On to like strip the competition from it.
Okay,
like
strip it from
y'all
it.
niggas are cemented forever.
Hey, at least he knows. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, I would hope that I'm cemented forever, and if not, I will be. When it's all said and done. In my mind, that's how my mentality is. So it's like there's like the competition part I've stripped away, and I'm now on some shit like, man, I'm more interested in the relationship because I also see a time when I'm not doing this.
Okay.
It seems very realistic to me.
41-year-old, by the way, just turned 41. That's what's up. That's what's up.
And in a time when I'm not doing this, I would, I don't want to be like, damn, we never kicked it.
You never what? Hold on now. No, you gotta pause that, my brother.
You guys. See, that's the problem.
So anyways, as far as that, safe to say, Jermaine been trying to stay cool with Aubrey and Side 7, Kendrick, for quite some time.
Is it okay I got my dope on me?
And he already knows that Drake is coming with some unfathomable dope as far as Iceman on the way. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we may have...
It's time for a rap battle!
Hold on, now where'd that drop come from? Anyways, we may have a rap battle on our hands because when you look at Jermaine, safe to say, when you look at these bars right here, second track off of his surprise birthday album, mind you, we're diving deep into every single track. So Jermaine said, for crumbs, dumb people, this is PG Podcast, by the way, dumb people, so they sold a Lucian. Okay, Lucian, UMG, that's interesting. Universal distribution, but I own the music. Own the music. I wonder why I heard that rhetoric before. That's interesting. Best person still breathing, leaving no confusion. My brother. Hey, let me go full screen for this one. My brother. You left no confusion.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip hop. Like, what's going on?
And I don't think people came away thinking you was the best. Anyways, hop on every person's song, abuse it. Okay, he do be spitting. Catch bodies for my own amusement. Talking about Call of Duty? GTA?
Shepherd.
All right, my fault. Let's get back into it. People cheating and I won't excuse it. Okay, I respect that. If I said it, then I wrote it.
Is it okay I got my dope on me?
I said, what the You telling me that all this dope that Aubrey's been giving out to other artists claiming they wrote for them as far as Beyonce, as far as Kanye, you want to come out and say that Aubrey may not be writing everything he does, even though he's giving out so many written tracks to other artists. But his pen just consistently gets played with. Now, mind you, somebody else could come and be like, you know what, Jermaine's saying if I said it, then I wrote it. Could be for anybody, right? You're right. Except when you compare it to the Golden Goose freestyle, which is interestingly enough, playing off a certain owl, right? And the Golden Goose, as far as, I think I had it up here somewhere. Oh, did I lose it? Dang, don't tell me I lost it. Yeah, I think I lost it. Anyways, as far as the Golden Goose, it's very interesting because Drake is looked at as the golden child of UMG. Even in the midst of the lawsuit, I kid you not, Drake is still selling the most and still streaming the most compared to all other rappers. So now, when you come and say, hop on every person's song, abuse it, catch bodies from my own amusement, I'm like, oh, he just talking. But then he says, if I said it, I wrote it. Comes to think he's taking shots at the GOAT. Now, we continue, right? Because it's even more than that. Because, of course, when you look at him actually going at Drake as far as another specific bar, some could say this is for anybody, right? Because you say if streams say you winning, why your tours is losing? Now, who's the top of the streaming game? When the math ain't mathing, of course you're juicing. That means the bots is boosting. I know, I just Hold up now.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Who Jermaine talking about, bro? He need to put a name on the bullet, bro. I don't like when Jermaine talk about this because I feel like, especially putting out a diss track, taking it away in under 48 hours, being a pacifist is suitable for you, my brother. Dare I say, you may have to become a pastor.
Give him some praise.
You know what I'm saying?
Give him some praise.
Pastor Cole.
Give him some praise.
You know what I mean? Pastor Cole has a ring to it. So anyways, Jermaine said, cut the tough guy image. It is not conducive. That's why a lot of people are going at or thinking that this is attached to the greatest artist as far as in hip hop history. Because of course, you look at Drake, and objectively speaking, he's out streaming everybody. Then you look at him being a golden goose to UMG, and then you look at the streams. He's always dominated streams to the point where who else would he be talking about as far as the streams say you winning? And then, of course, the bots is boosting, bringing up bots. When Drake brought up bots, it's almost like you trying to flip it on him, similar to how Size 7 did to Drake when Drake tried to come out and 8 Mile himself as far as talking about accuse him of young girls, right? So it's very interesting. And then he ends it off in a way where I just knew he was talking about the GOAT Aubrey Graham.
Is it okay I got my dope on me? I said, what the
So if you don't believe me, safe to say, that's why I have this in 4K. Analytic Dreams video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio. Because the way he ends this off is very interesting. To breathe and don't gamble with your life because the ops is cruising. Word to Mike Vick. Your dog might get shot for losing. I was like, what type of rapper, as far as all the puzzle pieces, what type of rapper has a connection to dogs as far as rap? I'm not gonna lie to you. Drake is out here giving every other rapper the ammo for all type of double, triple entendres when it comes to dogs.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip hop. Like, what's going on?
Size 7, White Tank Top did it when he said there's a K with all these nines, he gonna see Pet Cemetery. And then here Jermaine is talking about word to Mike Vick, your dog might get shot for losing. I'm like, bro, y'all gotta stop that.
See, that's the problem.
Y'all gotta stop that, because when you had the opportunity.
Shepherd.
All right, I ain't gonna say it. But anyways, so that's all I have to say about this track. As far as breaking down the lyrics like a Kilo of Miley Cyrus, there's really no need to, because, as far as the braggadocious bars, they're very egregious, right? But the flow, I'm not gonna lie, it's top tier. So it's very, it's so contradicting as far as him using a braggadocious tone when he has such an amazing flow. That's why I keep saying become a pastor, my brother, because you have the gift of gab, you know what I'm saying? And you out here using it to be tough? Crazy, man. I just don't like it, bro.
I just don't like it,
Just don't like it.
I just don't like that shit, man.
Crazy.
Go take care of your kids, man.
Now, even though you thought this whole entire surprise birthday mixtape was going to be filled with J. Cole slander, which, I feel like I'm bringing up objective things as far as talking about Jermaine. I'm pulling out all type of Jermaine sound bites, mind you, just to let you know what type of artist your favorite rapper is. So let's actually end off on a positive note, because this is technically my favorite track out of the surprise birthday mixtape, which is titled 99 Bill Freestyle. So let's get into that right now.
First person shooter did go number 2.
No, it didn't go number 2. It went number 1. But
hold up now. Lil Yachty may have to stick to making music because Jermaine checked that expeditiously. Even though when you look at Lil Yachty as far as the Jermaine interview, safe to say I believe at that time the track with Yeet went number 1, and then Jermaine's track went number 1 the following week because of course Drake's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So as far as for all your dogs, as far as the track with Yeet, it did go number 1. And then the track with Jermaine, First Person Shooter, went number 1 right after that. So, as far as putting out an album and having 2 of your tracks, competing for the number 1 spot, I think that's GOAT activity. But, Drake is my favorite rapper, so I may be biased.
Is it okay I got my dope on me?
You know what I'm saying? So anyways, let's keep going.
if it would have went number 2, it wouldn't have I wouldn't have felt no way.
See,
if the other song would have went number 1, it's like, bro, I'm cool. I almost feel better not having my first number 1 be off of Drake alley-oop,
But it was, my brother.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip hop. Like, what's going on?
And as I was just, the whole purpose of that was completely just to be petty. As ladies and gentlemen, Jermaine has dropped a whole surprise mixtape, right? Until you realize this man's talking blasphemous, this man's saying the most egregious, the most downright
Shepherd.
All right, y'all get the point. Basically, this man is talking like he should not be because the way that he put out a diss track towards Side 7 and took it away in under 48 hours, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's one of the most, maybe the worst move we've ever seen in hip-hop history, and I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. So, this is the third track off of his mixtape, his surprise birthday mixtape. I know I said we was about to get into the fourth track, which is 99 Bill Freestyle, but we could not skip over the third track, which is Winter Storm Freestyle. So here we are. So with this Winter Storm Freestyle, it's very interesting. He says he had to scrap a lot. So he said, Jermaine said, hey, yo, scrap everything I was working on prior to the day the world decided to play. I got a brand new agenda. They trying to keep up with your boy Hard Lay. Okay, that those two words don't really rhyme, but the way he said it, you know what I mean? Let's keep going. Oh, this is a PG podcast. He said, I feel like Lori Harvey, how I ran through them, huh?
You guys.
Pause, my brother.
See, that's the problem.
Throughout this whole continuation of the breakdown of the surprise birthday mixtape and the drops that I've been playing, it's almost like Jermaine's just out here saying the most nonsensical ideologies ever. And he's not following it up with a pause. Like, hold up, what you mean you ran through what? Like, nah, bro, like, you understand? Nah, okay. Anyways, he don't care, ladies and gentlemen. He not using the pause. Actually, I think he used the pause on the first track, and that was it. He knows how egregious some of these bars are. Anyways, going to what I think is the funniest line in this entire mixtape. This man said, I'm Mike Jordan and Edwards. You kidding me?
You guys.
Not gonna lie, that's a fire bar. I like that. Obviously, the jokes write itself, right? And then, of course, with the Lori Harvey name drop, with the Michael Jordan and Anthony Edwards name drop, I was thinking to myself, is this the game? But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm talking about Game the Rapper for people who don't even, be into hip-hop like that. So, of course, when you look at this actual track and it being the third track out of the entire mixtape, I think it's the weakest as far as it actually holding your attention. I believe the last track that we're about to get into is the best. And I believe the start of the first track is the better parts of this surprise birthday mixtape. But of course, he is flowing over every single track. I'm just giving you my rankings as far as the actual mixtape. Because at the end of the day, when Jermaine has these braggadocious bars about like saying no man that's rhyming can match my fluidity. I'm Mike Jordan and Edwards. You kidding me? Cole gets older but grows new abilities. You didn't know I'm Zeno with Goku agility. Now, of course, that's an anime bar. I don't watch anime. Apparently, this man sounds like Zeno, some type of philosopher in anime, but he doesn't fight or whatever. So, I think at this very important moment in time of hip hop, this definitely helps out Jermaine as far as seeing that not only has ASAP been a great mascot for hip hop on a global scale as far as analytical perspective, because he currently has the #1 album in the world, because Don't Be Dumb did debut with 122,000 copies first week. And of course, you have Youngboy currently with the 5th most played album as far as Slime Cry. So now when you look at Jermaine, throwing out a surprise mixtape that's not on DSPs, because this is for the fans, right? He wanted a minimum of $1, and guess what the consumer said?
Whoop-de-doo.
I said, guess what the consumer said?
Whoop-de-doo.
They said, we're not going for that. They ripped it right off of that site and put it on YouTube and SoundCloud. So if you don't believe me, hey, I'm not telling you to look it up. I'm just saying that man, Jermaine, was only asking for $1. And the consumer still said that was too much.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip-hop. Like, what's going on?
So as far as this specific track, it's not really a lot compared to the other tracks that we're about to get into. And definitely not a lot. Definitely not close in quality as far as the last track off of this mixtape. But the last thing I do have to say is this man definitely got the greatest of alley-oops thrown to him from Drake, from Kendrick. And he was okay with the third slot. But now that the whole battle has went on and he's trying to find his footing, I think going at people like content creators, claiming them of like D-riding and things of that nature, when he's been, doing tricks on it for Drake, for Kendrick for years, centuries even. Not centuries, I'm exaggerating. And him to double back and not even go at them, to go at the commentators is very interesting. It's almost like KD joining the Warriors, and then he's like, he get mad at everybody because he actually didn't win as much as people thought he was going to with the Warriors. It's like, bro, my brother, we just calling it like we see it.
You guys.
You know what I'm saying? So anyways, with that being said, without further ado, let's get into my favorite track off of this entire mixtape, which is Birthday Blizzard. Ending off with a little positivity because at the end of the day, we've been breaking this surprise J. Cole birthday mixtape down like a kilo of Miley Cyrus. Safe to say, this man Jermaine said if hip hop is back, JID should chart platinum. That brother ain't never lied. That brother preaching right there. That brother preaching.
Give him some praise. Give him some praise.
But unfortunately, that did not happen. So, as far as me coming on, always talking about the music and gaming IPs that notoriously affect the masses, safe to say one thing I have to keep reiterating, just so people don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying, is that just because you sell a lot does not mean you make the best product, and just because you don't sell a lot does not mean you make the most abysmal, the most egregious.
Shepherd.
All right, y'all get the point, right? It doesn't mean you make trash. So at the end of the day, the two don't correlate. But when it comes to talking about analytics and engagement and people just saying, oh, make great music. Well, you look at Vince Staples with his Netflix show, you look at JID with his album, and opportunity does not always come to people who heavily prepare, right? It's just that we always say prepare because if that opportunity comes and you're unprepared, then that's probably the worst feeling in the world.
You guys. See, that's the problem.
All right, with that, whole soliloquy out the way, the main thing I was want to say is I inherently think this is the best track off of the surprise mixtape. And of course, as far as dropping the bomb, safe to say the actual title should have let you know what type of time Jermaine was on, because 99 Bill Freestyle was definitely him showcasing why he titled it 99, as throughout this entire track, it's just straight up bars, flows, triple, double entendres, and none of it was really so blatantly provocative as far as from a bravado standpoint, because that's what that's what I was hesitant about as far as his previous track, because getting into Jermaine and him rapping is different than getting into Jermaine and the subject matter he should be having after taking off a diss track in under 48 hours and then talking like you're still the best. It's just the two can't correlate. If Kawhi came out and was like, you know what, guys, I'm the best basketball player to ever live, we'll be like, hold up, player. You can't talk like that no more. We got too much history on you to say that's, understandably, it's not true. You know what I'm saying?
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip hop. Like, what's going on?
So when it comes to Jermaine fans and him actually admitting on being dropped out of the top 3 like he did in the very first track, as if you go to, I think it was the Bronx Zoo freestyle. Yeah, it was right here. Okay, so the Bronx Zoo freestyle, he literally says at the end, and it's his first track off of his surprise birthday mixtape. He says, I used to be the top seed. Apology dropped me way out of the top 3. No problem. No problem.
You guys. See, that's the problem.
Anyways, this man said, no problem. I'm probably my best when they doubt me. That probably just hurts my heart, man.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip hop. Like, what's going on?
I said we ended off with positivity. So the main thing, let me get into my favorite parts of this track. So I think I like the end of it when he was flowing over the beat. Oh yeah, this right here. I like this. This is straight fire. So he basically said, he said, known as the rap game that's been overcome with loads of marketing plans based on randomly dissing and hating on the next man. I wonder who he's talking about with that. I understand, imagine working hard as you can on this album you planned, hoping it charges your brand, but as soon as you drop it, the world's ignoring again.
You guys. See, that's the problem.
But as soon as you drop it, the world's ignoring again.
You guys. See, that's the problem.
The reason I repeated that is because, as far as Jermaine being taken under the wing of Jay-Z, it goes back to my earlier point of people who heavily prepare and don't get opportunity. But, of course, usually when that happens, safe to say when you do get that opportunity, you use that as a learning lesson as far as realizing that even though you prepare a lot, you don't get the necessary same opportunities as other people. You get taken under the wing by like the greatest rapper ever of all time. So now, as far as Jermaine throwing these shots, it's similar to when a famous artist or celebrity comes back at somebody and they be like, you know what? I just got more money than you.
You guys.
Like, hold up now.
See, that's the problem.
That ain't how it work. We try to compare you to your peers. Like, are you going to tell Kendrick that? Are you going to tell Drake that? Obviously, these are not the bars that could be in the 7-minute freestyle that you took down in under 48 hours. So that's, that's out the window. So as far as his subject matter, he can only do it to people that we're not comparing him to in the first place. And that, ladies and gentlemen.
But then, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at the state of hip hop. Like, what's going on?
So anyways, I do like this though. And as far as from him specifically, I think it's interesting. So he went on to say, got you wondering why, till you start to notice the trend. Drama enhances the attention brought to the fans on popular channels. I just wonder, who is he talking about? Anyways, so you want to hop on the bandwagon and battle rapping and throwing shots in the jam. I had my chance, but I dropped it. Oh, honesty to the highest degree. That's why it was my favorite bar. If y'all was wondering, you was like, where are you going with this? You said you was going to end off positive, and you brought up this bar, and you only bringing out things that really don't make Jermaine look the greatest look in the greatest light. Basically, reason why this is my favorite, because at least your favorite rapper finally admitted that I had my chance, but I dropped it. And then he went on to say, which means my only option is to do the opposite, lead with skill. If hip-hop is back, then JID should chart platinum. Anything less than that means y'all capping. The Fallout is dropping February 6th. Stop asking. Yes, sir. So shout out to Jermaine for finally admitting that he had his chance and he dropped it. Because, at the end of the day, when it comes to being the most overrated rapper of all time, and me saying that throughout the history of the podcast, and then to see the way that it was just ultimately proved, just cemented in the history of time for hip hop, I just got to say, all I got to say is that is why Notorious Master Fake is doing phenomenal. So with that being said, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about my breakdown of Jermaine and his surprise project, Birthday Blizzard? And if you've listened to the entire surprise mixtape, what is your favorite track off of the mixtape?